seems the most surefire way to not become Speaker is to win the nomination. What are we going to do from here?
Absolutely. You know, the religious belt, the sealess, which as monks used to wear, that was kind of a self-torture advice. I think I have mine strapped on pretty well. Go into the Republican caucus, and kind of that's what it's about. You know, sadly enough, we've gone through many individuals. I did not personally think McCarthy needed to be taken out. The 8 who did that, I just think they caused a lot of chaos. We've had really good individuals, but some members will get up and have a personal grind against them. What we need to do really is come together as a party. We're going to have our differences, but we have to understand that the real differences we have are between Republican and Democrat, not Republican and Republican. Mike Johnson was the runner-up to Tom Emmer. I think Mike would do a fabulous job. I think he could get the 217. Same with Kevin Hearn. Those two individuals, I think, let's just say it's kind of insane to say, but they wouldn't have as many people against them as what we've had before. We need to be a caucus that says we start from yes and perhaps move to no, rather than no and move up to yes.
You invoked religion. I believe it was former President Trump who said the only individual who can maybe get to 217 is Jesus Christ. If Hearn and Johnson didn't get it in the backroom dealings this morning, why would they be able to get the majority tomorrow or the next day?
Well, I think they're individuals. A lot of the heretofore individuals have had personal, done things in the past that somebody didn't like, or they were too radical in one regard, or vice versa, and any of those things. And I think Mike Johnson and Kevin Hearn are very well liked across the conference. I don't think any of these individuals have taken votes that some people may have had a problem with, or a particular stance that somebody had a problem with. I see them as being people who really come out of this unscathed, or actually come into the battle unscathed, and perhaps can finally get consensus so that we can take it to the floor.
I'm looking at your tweet of Sunday, Congressman, when you wrote with sirens on X. We now have almost as many candidates for Speaker of the House as Taylor Swift has had boyfriends. Where are we now, Congressman? How many do we have now? And will it take Democrats to close the deal on this? I know this was discussed earlier with Tom Emmer. It's still being discussed with Patrick McHenry. If we start creeping up on a government shutdown, do the two parties need to work together?
Well, I don't think we'll get to that point. And the debate right now, I literally stepped out of conference because of some of the debate was going on, is whether to go back into restart, have a full forum again, or just to kind of have a mini forum of those individuals who were there today. The other individuals, in my opinion, have come to the part where they've been nominated, but we're not able to get to the votes. I don't personally think we need to start that monkey all over again. I would put the ones that today got voted out and see if we can move forward on those individuals.
Congressman, at what point do you just give Pro Tem Patrick McHenry the tools he needs to start legislating again? This is not going down well with Americans across the board. 21 days, there's paralysis on the House of Representatives floor.
Yeah. Well, part of that time, to be factual, Anne-Marie, is the fact we were in recess. So none of this would be occurring while we'd be in recess. That said, this is absolutely frustrating it to the nth degree. Patrick Henry honestly does not want those powers, but they may be at some point forced upon him. Patrick has done an excellent job of leading the conference forward during these negotiations, but I don't think we're quite at that point yet, and he really, really does not want this job.
Well, that seems to actually be a qualifier in the world that we're in here. Right. Congressman, can you give us a sense what's going to happen for the rest of the day? Will there be another Republican conference meeting, and what will be the tenor of that meeting? We're hearing reports of people yelling at each other, using swear words, yelling at Matt Gaetz to sit down. What's going to happen tonight?
Well, I don't recall that Matt Gaetz got scolded today, but that may just be a matter of the day. You think about how all this began. It was really with Matt's personal vendetta against McCarthy. This is what we're debating literally at this very moment. Do we go back into another forum today? I'll stay there. I'm a surgeon. I'll stay up all night. I don't care. I'd rather have the break of dawn that we come out with a consensus candidate that can come to the floor and get 217. We'll have to see what in the next hour or two the process is going to be.
And what's the possibility of potentially putting someone out there that can get Democratic votes?
I don't think we're at that point yet. And, it's hard to sell that to the American public.
21 days, we're not there yet?
Well, no.
There's a crisis in the Middle East. There's a government shutdown potentially November 17th. I mean,
Sure.
what else needs to be done?
Well, the crisis in the Middle East is being handled at this point by the president and our military. Nothing of the House at this point, short of a censure and a resolution to support Israel, has been vacated. That said, there's an absolute urgency to get this done and actually get back to passing appropriations bills, getting back to appropriating money where it needs to be for the country. But again, we have some folks that are begin at no, and want to move, and we're trying to get them to move to yes. But that's a hard hill to climb for some of these individuals.